Partnered by Times Influence.
The stage has been warmed up for India's biggest business reality show.
We are planning to have at least 200 to 500 units.
Where experts guide and mentor you. A cutthroat competition giving us 9 shining business ideas.
You don't need to invest in real estate. There's no electricity cost. I would not over-promise and under-deliver with you right now.
Stage 2 promises to be tougher and fiercer, leaving no room for any mistake.
Right now, the franchise, for whatever reason, cannot be at the heart of the system.
And I think there's a massive market out there for diabetics.
You're moving into the extension of the business too quickly.
You need to further refine, big time, your execution model.
Welcome to the semi-finals of the Franchise India show. Meet our judges for today. Ritu Maria, leading the bandwagon for global business magazines in India and an eminent voice in the world of franchising. Santosh Desai, a brand guru and an eminent name in the world of building of retail. Prahlad Kakkar, a man who dons many hats, from being an ad man, director, scuba expert and a restaurateur. Tarun Nagar, a leading face of the fastest emerging used car retail brand in India, Mahindra First Choice. Our first semi-finalist is building public loos, making them accessible to all.
This is a Yashwant from Lootail. Actually, in India, you can say that the public toilet is really the biggest problem for that. There is not safe for women also, and the availability and design for disabled people, you can say that. We have come up with the very unique solution, the Lootail. Loo of hotel, pay, use and redeem. You need to pay for 10 rupees for washroom charges, and that washroom charges will be get redeemed on the food cafe.
So what percentage of your revenues are coming from the cafe and what percentage from the use of the loo?
From loo we are getting only, you can say the 10%.
So loo use is 10%. So what has been the turnover in the last year?
32 lakhs.
So only about 3 lakhs is coming from the loo.
Yeah.
So that's actually your loss leader really.
No, if 100 customers coming on the loo, that means that 22 people are coming on billing on the cafe also.
And what is the average ticket size when they go to the cafe?
Ticket size is 65 rupees for that.
So what is the unit economics right now?
Right now we are making almost per day 100 to 125 people in the washroom. And same time we are generating around 40 to 60k profit monthly.
What are your margins that you're making?
It's around the 60% to 63%.
How can, how can selling FMCG give you a 60% gross margin?
We are not selling any single part of the packaged food.
You make fresh food?
Yeah. Otherwise, it won't be sustainable for us.
So you don't have a central supply, you don't have a central kitchen that is supplying everyone?
No, we have 2 units right now. So we have trying to develop the center unit for that.
In a 5-year kind of a time horizon, how many units do you plan to have?
We are planning to have at least 200 to 500 units.
What is the area that they will cover? Which towns, how many towns, how many?
So right now we are getting calls and inquiries from most of the B towns.
Right, so how will your central kitchen feed such a diverse set of towns? What is the transportation cost and how will you manage it? Is it perishable items?
I think you need a cluster approach to do this, otherwise it will never be sustainable.
We will go with the 80-20 concept like that. 80% will be the standardized food of our, like a tea, coffee, sodas, whatever we have, and 20% food we will adopt from local market also.
What is the total investment you expect the franchisee to make?
10 lakh rupees plus 2 to 3 lakh rupees of working capital for that.
And what is the time frame you're giving him for the return on his investment?
You can say 18 to 24 months.
And after that, what margins can he expect in the business?
At least 30%.
I'm actually a bit wary of your margins. I mean, no cafe. I mean, and in this case, your cafe doesn't even have a supply chain.
There is one more thing. Food business have a major part is the rent from in the revenue, major part. We are getting location from the government at lowest cost.
So now I'm going to match you on a rapid fire round. So what leadership style defines you? Are you autocratic or participative?
I'm a participator.
What would you choose one over the other? Quality over growth or growth over quality?
Quality over the growth.
Which of these qualities do you prefer in your team? Integrity or competence?
Integrity.
Operating investor as in mentor or financial investor?
Operating investor as the mentor.
If a franchisee gives you strong volumes but doesn't follow your guidelines, will you take action or will you keep quiet?
No, I'll take action. That's why we are working the FOCO model first. We will create our system.
If there's a conflict of disagreement between your franchisee and a complaint from a customer, whose side will you take, the customer or the franchisee?
I'll take the customer.
I think honestly you have a great concept, but I have still got, I'm not completely confident on its franchise capability because right now the margins don't seem to me in order. I think your margins can only be defined once you put your supply chain in place, because the supply chain will then really be able to definitely give you an answer what is the margin that you can pass on to your franchisee.
I think that if you can get the government into bed with you, so they don't have to invest in infrastructure for smaller towns, B, C, D, because those are the areas which you are focusing on, and let them focus on the big cities because that's where their needs are.
I think it's a strong and innovative kind of an idea. I think your key challenge is going to be the supply chain. You're talking about food, there are quality issues, there are hygiene issues. If you don't manage that, then your value to franchisees will be limited.
Please map your competition pretty well because they could be aggressive and they could be big, right? And you should be very clear on the concept of why do you want to do franchising in this business? Because consistency across BC towns where you are planning to expand would be a challenge.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy watching.
I think it's a good concept, but it's very hard to make money in this concept.
Yeah,
and if
it's
you
very
put the
low
franchising,
margin.
Very low margin.
They'll work like dynamite or it will not. There's no grey area. It's not going to struggle for a long time to break even. It's going to fly or it's going to crash.
Our product is stand out from others. Why? Because we are solving the real pain area. India, there is no one is talking about the public toilets, and we are talking about that. And that's there is our USP of that.
The next semi-finalist is building India's first organized chain of laundry.
Hello judges, my name is Arunab and I am the founder and CEO of UCLEAN. At UCLEAN, we are building India's largest chain of laundry company, and we are also building India's first integrated cleaning solutions company with the vision to become the one-stop shop for all cleaning requirements of a family or a household. As a brand, we are already India's largest laundry chain with 40 stores currently operational between 16 cities. Another 20 stores that are under various stages of fit-out. We are looking at a vision where we can have 10,000 UCLEAN stores present all across India, and then also eye some international territories which would make strategic sense for us. We have created two different verticals, one by the name of Mint Clean, where we are offering services like deep cleaning, carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, kitchen maintenance and services like these. And we have also done a strategic acquisition of a company called Book Your Wash, which is basically into mobile car wash services, where a customer can place the order and our team will be at the customer's premise to carry out the cleaning of the car. So the idea is to keep the process inclusive, to tie up with the community, to give back to the community, but at the same time make the process efficient and economical for the customers.
Why do you think franchising is the model?
Investing in setting up the stores on our own would make it capital intensive and also operational intensive. So I feel that franchising is the right way to go ahead, because franchising would help you scale up very quickly, help you reach all possible neighborhoods without yourself getting too involved in the operations or investing too much capital from your own account.
You have three formats that you mentioned, which is your car cleaning, so the same franchisee does all the three formats, or do you actually look for different franchisees, or would you prefer to have the same franchisee running all the 3 formats together?
Honestly, we are okay with both the options. So some of our franchisees, like for example, my franchisees in Delhi and NCR, they've also opted for Mint Clean, which is where the team goes to, these are all on-site services. Our guy goes to the customer's premise, carries out the service there and collects the money and comes back. Some franchisees do not want to invest additionally in equipment required for setting up a Mint Clean. So they work with existing Mint Clean franchisee on a commission basis.
So you can use the word cleaning to describe everything, all the different verticals, but the skill set required, the operating realities of each of them seem to be vastly different. Is it too early to be looking at something like that instead of getting your model, which is your essential laundrette model, getting that right? Because these seem to be two different businesses.
Yeah, too early to build stack.
Both the businesses can actually exist in parallel, can exist very profitably and sustainably. The only difference that is needed is the kind of training that we are imparting to people who have joined us on Mint Clean. So my team members of Mint Clean would be trained very differently as opposed to the way my team of UCLEAN would be trained.
What are your margins in both the businesses?
So UCLEAN would be about a 35% margin after removing the royalties. Mint Clean would be a 50 to 55% margin business.
What will be the consumer acquisition cost in the current model?
Mint Clean is a relatively new business which we have built only about 3 months back. So currently the Mint Clean franchisees are focusing on the UCLEAN network itself to build up the business. So if I talk about a typical 3 BHK deep cleaning, we charge 7,500 rupees, out of which 20% goes to the UCLEAN franchisee that is doing the lead generation. So 1,500 is the customer acquisition cost for that.
So now I'm going to match you on a rapid fire round. You know, if you have a conflict with your franchisee, how are you going to resolve it? Are you going to just kick him out or are you going to counsel him?
We would always want to resolve it amicably before taking any sort of legal recourse.
Would you rather deal with the male member of the family or the female member of the family?
Whether we like it or not, we are dealing with the female members of the family.
If you had to look for one quality in choosing a franchisee, what would that be?
Operational capability.
There is a great prospective franchisee partner you are sitting in meeting with, right? But he lacks money. What would you do?
We would run a FOCO model with a twist where it's a franchise model where this man becomes the operator.
I think everybody's just totally fed up of the Dhobi. There's far too much damage to the clothes. The best clothes always get lost. I'm ready for this.
So I think the concept is really great, and I mean your margins are pretty good that you're passing on to the franchisee. The 35% margin is quite okay with the franchisee. My only concern is, try at least first the same franchisee to be given the Mint Clean and the car wash model that you have as well, because that will actually up his revenues and he'll be excited about the game for a longer period of time.
I think it's a strong idea. I think it's well thought through also. My only concern at this stage is only whether you're moving into the extension of the business too quickly.
I would just advise or suggest that you need to map your past competitive landscape pretty in detail, right? I still find some gaps out there, and so that you are clear on the stage of the business, where you are, what you want to do.
Thank you so much.
My advice to him after his research that he's dealing mostly with housewives and women is to recruit the people who collect the clothes and deliver them to young stud muffins. He gets a lot of traction.
We have suitably demonstrated it to everyone that this is the kind of concept and segment that is only going to grow from here. And I feel that is something that even the judges understood and appreciated very well. And I feel that is what differentiated us from the competition.
In the commercial orientation, there are big holes.
We'll be back after a thick shake factory break. And the last semi-finalist specializes in handmade and customized shoes.
I am Ayush Diwan Khurana, owner and designer of the luxury fashion footwear brand Modello Domani. We started in May 2015, and in the last 3 years, we have literally doubled our turnover, starting from 17.8 lakhs in the commencement year, going all the way up to almost 1 crore in the present financial year. Apart from that, we have our flagship store in New Delhi near Defence Colony. And we also have our own e-commerce website by the name of domani.in and another one, DomaniShoes.com. We have the first of its kind picture to product service. You give us a picture of your favorite pair and we will make the perfect outcome of it. 99% we guarantee that it will be similar with our own terms and conditions applied so that we are not copying any brand's model per se. We start from as low as 2,000 rupees and go as high as 18,000 rupees.
You can be a great online player. Why do you want to do franchise?
A lot of people do not prefer buying things online. They want to see the quality, they want to test it out. Also, a lot of people are very confused with their sizes. Second reason, the return rate, which is approximately, we are running at 5% return rate, which is only for exchange of sizes.
How is your store doing? What are your the economics of the store today?
We have approximately 10 walk-ins a day still, and the conversion rate would be something around, say, 5 pairs a day.
I think we have a great product orientation, but execution to the plan, I'm still hazy about. How do you plan to do that? Suppose I am a prospective franchisee, right? The major value proposition, I look for my profitability of the store in the lowest period of time frame. I can have a brilliant product, but what if it doesn't sell, or a slow sales, or my cost of operations is high? 6 months, I will come back to you and say, boss, it is not working.
It is not working.
And
I understand
you
that.
don't have a very clear sort of structure for franchise support also. You don't know if it's not working, what are you going to sort of do to offset that?
I will not disagree with you completely there, because we are also learning, we are also growing. So there are certain things that even I am honestly in the dark.
In the customization space, what is the percentage of?
So customization was only introduced because there were clients coming up to me saying that I want this shoe, but with frills and a monk strap. So we were like, fine. So that is the reason why we introduced the picture to product customization or customization in general.
So what do you want more, investment or partnership?
Partnership.
What's your biggest roadblock to growth today? Mindset or execution?
Execution.
What do you prefer, a good location or a good partner?
A good partner.
What will you be more excited by, a new design that you love or a great new franchise partner?
The first part.
Investments, product or P&L?
Product.
You know, if I were you, I would think more of doing shop-in-shops or airport stores. It's a point of view of building brand eyeball, then putting on a franchise setup which is profitable for the franchisee. These are two different things altogether.
Right.
If you want to sort of do a business which is franchising model, you have to put the franchise at the heart of the system. Right now, the franchise, for whatever reason, cannot be at the heart of the system.
I think you clearly have a great flair for designing. You're passionate about the product. But I really do think that you need maybe a partner that has a commercial orientation. Because I think the commercial orientation, there are big holes. The way you're looking at the product, I think there's a lot that you have going for you.
I think from design perspective, the thought process is nice. I think you need to further refine big time your execution model. The product flair could be okay.
I think there's a massive market out there for diabetics, which has not even been approached or tapped. We have some 40 million diabetics who have to be so particular about shoes that if they get a small shoe bite, it's going to become septic and they're going to have huge problems with it. So if we actually start doing R&R in that department and making diabetic shoes not look like medical clodhoppers, but be the high end of fashion, you're on a roll.
I thank you, and this is the Domani family. Thank you.
He has a great product which he should sell online. And I mean, he needs to build a little bit of his brand before he can franchise.
It's actually between the laundromat and this guy. So
I don't think this guy will. No, you cannot compare him. I would still say Lutel because it looks like a scalable model. This cannot be scaled.
I have gone in depth with how we are remunerating ourselves and how the revenue income is flowing towards us and all the different channels. So we'll be discussing all of that package and also our expansion plans in terms of where do we see ourselves in the next 5 years. So that entire package has been assembled and let's see.
I think they're super concepts. All three of you have done a brilliant job when it comes to developing your product. You've sort of also executing the prototype stage. Some of you are at very well. But what we're really clearly looking for as jury members out here is the execution bandwidth and the power to franchise it and bring more partners on board. The better thing would be for, at least for Lutel and for Modelo Domani, is to sort of raise capital at this stage and then maybe franchise it later. And of course, the golden ticket for this episode goes to UCLEAN, who's going to make it to the next round.
really excited right now. It's still sinking in. Obviously, once we move closer to the finals, nervousness would also start setting in. But at this point in time, I'm really excited and looking forward to it.
As these emerging brands compete for the top spot in franchising, let's look at the story of one such brand that has tasted success by following the franchise route.
A unique, trendy and indigenous men's apparel brand. Classic Polo has become the preferred choice of young and dynamic professionals across the country.
In the year 2001, we saw a lot of foreign brands coming into India to launch their brands in Indian market. That was the time we felt we are all the way going around all European countries to sell our produce when all the foreign brands were coming back to India. So that was the reason for Classic Polo, which was launched in the year 2001.
A flagship brand of the Royal Classic Groups, their manufacturing and production facilities have more than 3,000 employees working to give that perfect look to all your merchandise. Following the omni-channel route, the brand today provides a complete men's wardrobe solution.
Today, Classic Polo is a men's wardrobe solution with omni-channel presence. We are there in the textile shops, MBO market. We are there in large format stores like Globus, Shoppers, Centrals, Brand Factory and Reliance Trends. And we are there in exclusive brand outlet also.
In 2009, Classic Polo decided to follow the franchise model, and this move has resulted in increased returns and a connect with their customers.
An entrepreneur who is investing money and time and passionate to work can deliver much better results than the company-owned employee. We saw a revenue increase of 30% with the same store, with the same merchandise, but the only difference between company-owned person and the franchisee, the revenues grew by 30%. And I am glad to quote here, most of my franchisees remember 20% of the clients, regular clients, by their name, their preference of their clothing. The personal service is assured, guaranteed with the franchising model.
Boasting of a kitty of 130 stores currently, Classic Polo is leaving no stone unturned when it comes to redefining fashion trends and catering to their customer preferences.
We wish to grow multi-folds in this franchising route. So the immediate plan is to become 200 stores of Classic Polo by end of this financial year. And by 2020, we wish to have 500 stores of Classic Polo in India.
Your business and the size of your business is up to you. Franchising gives you the power to think big. Log on to www.franchiseindia.com to build a business that meets your size of big.
Partnered by Times Influence.